So I'm so happy to finally meet you. I already feel like I kind of know you through your work and all your writing and being a fan of your radio show. So I'm just so happy that we're finally here.
Yeah, it's great to meet you as well. I loved your article, Marie Claire, back in May. It was phenomenal. It inspired me. And of course, you got a GLAAD nomination, so congrats on that. Still waiting for mine. I feel like Annette Bening, not getting my GLAAD Award nomination, but it's okay. It'll come along. It'll come along.
It will.
So for you, when you think about gender identity, what does it mean to be a woman?
I think for me, I don't really know what it means to kind of be a woman or to be this kid who kind of grew up this very effeminate boy, or all of these kind of labels that we attach to what it means to be trans or what it means to be a person or a human being. And I think that for me, to be a woman, I guess basically means standing in your truth and owning who you are fully and the totality of your experiences and kind of acting as your most authentic self. And so I guess that's just kind of something that any human being, regardless of gender, should kind of try to attain to. So that's kind of, I guess, womanhood or personhood to me, I guess. When I think about what initially made me want to have a conversation with you was the fact that you're so authentic about who you are and the duality of your experiences, as you have said, and especially I was really attracted to it when you talked about Zora Neale Hurston and when you quoted her in an interview about your own radio show, saying that you're not tragically black and you're not tragically colored.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not tragically colored and you're not tragically gay.
Yes.
And what does that mean when you had said that?
That line by Zora Neale Hurston, I am not tragically colored, I am not tragically Negro, that resonated so strong with me, and it's really been a line that I use for my everyday life, meaning that when it comes to my sexual orientation, there's no tragedy in it. When you think of somebody who's LGBT, you think of, a life of rejection and anguish and suffering and always feeling like, oh my gosh, nobody loves me, I'm never gonna find love, God hates me, and all these kinds of things. I don't feel that way. My life is a good life. I will not let my life be a tragedy. That's not an option for me. So for me, I'm not tragically gay. Afrobella.com, you have a really strong fan base.
I blame it's the hair.
It's the hair.
I think I'm not kidding. I think it's the hair and it's the boyfriend.
Yeah.
I think it's two things that black women genuinely want, is like they want to have a great partner, a great love, because supposedly there's no black men out there and there's there's no love for black women. Black women can't find, how tragic, the media tends to make black women look.
Absolutely.
And so I think it's the positivity and the kind of the love that came out of my story in terms of, I didn't make it tragic, and I think that's why I've always loved you in your writing. And so I think it's that happiness. You see someone that looks like you in the pages of a predominantly white women's magazine. Let's not pretend that Marie Claire isn't that. And so I think it's just that. There's a happy story there, even though and it also shows that, I look like I'm a black woman, and I'm also, I come from a different kind of upbringing and a different path, and that we're all black women. And I just love that the black sites like Afrobella, as you said, and Clutch Magazine and Vibe Vixen have all celebrated my story. They can't control what their readers are going to react to it, but in terms of how black women have embraced me and loved me, I just feel for the first time in my life that I fully stand in my truth and that I can share it, and that it shows that when you are fully who you are, you will find your people. Your people will come. And I'm just happy to say that black women are among those people and those who embrace me and love me. It's amazing.
I recall when I began writing, I really got into the writing industry, the entertainment side of the writing industry, via other gay men who happened to be closeted, and they were journalists. And you would think for a writer, who cares? Nobody cares about you. But kind of in this day and age of Facebook and Twitter, if you do something attached to something celebrity driven, it can bring some attention to you. But although they were all closeted, I decided from the start of my career that I would just be who I am. I wouldn't try and hide anything, because I didn't want anybody to say, oh, he interviewed T.I., but he a faggot. I didn't want anything like that. I wanted to be open, and to be honest with you, being open with who I am helped me. It got me more jobs writing for LGBT press, which is amazing. It only helped me, and you can't sit down with somebody and try and pull out the truth out of them when you are scared about your own truth.
I have issues with passing, the term passing, because I feel like it means as if you're passing for something that you're not,
Right.
when all I've done is kind of be myself and follow exactly who I am, you know, despite the fact that everyone around me was telling me, no, you're supposed to be a boy, you're not supposed to be a girl, you know, but I knew I was a girl. So it's definitely a privilege. I'm very hyper conscious as I navigate in the world and in my life that of like my privileges and all of my obstacles at the same time. So it's not something I can apologize for. I'm not going to apologize for the way that I look, and you know, but I do have friends who aren't able to blend in as well as I can and don't fit the rigid mold that we do have for women in terms of being attractive and being seen as, you know, deemed as, you know, my femininity and my womanhood isn't questioned when I walk down the street. And that's something that is very real for a lot of trans women who have had to transition later in life.
When I was 5 or 6 years old, I wanted to dress up like a girl, just for whatever reason. Just wanted to dress up like a girl and play around. You know, girls can do that, want to dress like a boy, but if boys do, it becomes a problem. Yeah. But my mother, she was okay with it. I mean, I could tell she was a little bit concerned, but I was begging her. She was like, okay, fine. So
You're begging her to
yeah, I was begging her to just wear a dress or do something, whatever, just to play, if you will. So she put me in some heels and a dress and some makeup, and I was running around the apartment, kind of screaming and hollering or whatever, just having a good time. Being a kid, I was playing. And it's funny, in that moment, that could have been a major shift in my core personality. Being 5 or 6 years old, those moments when you're that young are very important.
Yeah.
And being that she affirmed me in that moment, being that she stood up for her son in that moment, took a stand for her son,
Let you know it's okay.
and letting me know that it's okay, that I was just being creative and I was being a kid, it kind of, not that I don't have any struggles or I didn't have any struggles with being gay, but it gave me a shield to know that I'm not inferior, that I am loved. Because if your mother loves you and your mother affirms you, nobody else really matters.
I can relate to it on a personal level with, and I hate having to say this, but it was usually on the sites where the readers are supposed to look like me, who, you know, and the writers look like me, where I got the most visceral reaction about who I am and what my story meant to people. And it just appalled me that people would have such anger about me sharing my story about being trans and all this stuff, and then them saying, if I saw her in the street and she kissed me, I'd kill her, or this is an abomination, you know, damning me to hell. And I don't think that's something that, I'm a strong person, but I don't think I can ever get used to seeing those kind of things.
And I can recall when I first moved to New York City, I was walking through Harlem and I saw a shirt in a window. And the shirt, it was a black shirt with white letters, I will never forget it. And the shirt said, a real man does not deal drugs. Okay, I'm with that, okay. A real man loves God. All right, whatever, you know, that's what it is. A real man does not sleep with other men. I'm walking through Harlem, you know, 21 years old, and I saw that shirt.
But a real man doesn't murder someone.
Exactly, murder, steal, takes care of their kids, right? But that's the one they want to use. And I remember it kind of like hitting me in my gut. And then I thought of all the kids that may have saw this, all the straight folks that may have saw this, and it reinforced their beliefs on gay people. But what I do believe is that homophobia in the black community stands for something else. It stands for manhood. It means you're a real man, you're a real nigga if you don't like faggots. I want to ask you my main question that I ask everybody. It's my signature question. My signature question. When you get to heaven, what is the DJ playing?
Oh my God. It's a good question. Okay, I got it, I think.
It's a hard question.
Yeah, I think it'd be the Beach Boys, God Only Knows. I love it. It's just light and airy, and kind of, it opens with, it says, I'm not gonna sing it, I'll just say the lyrics, but it says, I may not always love you, but like stars above you, you never need to doubt it, I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows how much I need to, without you, or something like that. And so I just love that it's about, love and openness and acceptance, and also doubt a little bit. You kind of, sometimes you doubt the way you love someone or whatnot. And so it's just, I'm obsessed with relationships, so I feel like that's what would be playing in heaven. I'm going to ask you the same question.
The same question.
What is the DJ playing for you in heaven?
Wow, it's funny, I've asked that question so many times, but never really answered it. Well, heaven is here on earth, but when I get to the other heaven, it would be like a crazy tribal house remix of like Nina Simone's Feeling Good. Just birds flying high, you know how I feel, I'm feeling good. Just some crazy, just drums of tribal, something to take me to the jungle. And just be Nina and house, and I would just rise up.
No, so I'm just so happy that I was able to learn from you today, and not only meet you, but learn from you. And so, thank you so much for coming out and meeting me and talking to me and giving me some of your knowledge and juice.
Yes. The hair, it's like Hawaiian Barbie. It truly is.
Someone was just telling me about Hawaiian Barbie. I'm not kidding. Someone was